everyone. It's a rainy morning here. Can't even make it out to the vlog cabin without being soaked. So I'm sitting in the house and just off to see my mummy in Ayr. But I've been reading Luke chapter 5 because that was the suggested reading in David Strutt's book, Sanctuary. And I was just struck reading through that chapter by the familiar words and imagery of wine and wineskins that occurs towards the end of that chapter. You know, that imagery in these verses, I think they've been hijacked by folk frustrated with church structures and turned into being nothing more than that we need a new way of being a church. Actually, the original verses are nothing to do with that. They're much more about how we approach new converts and how we deal with them pastorally. The Pharisees wanted to slap all sorts of religious duties and so on upon the people that were awakening to God through Jesus welcoming sinners. And Jesus is not speaking against what the Pharisees wanted for these people, namely that they should fast and pray and so on. But he's really just saying to them, there's a way of dealing with people that you're not understanding. If you try and put these new things that people relating to God are actually meant to embrace at some stage, but if you try and slap all these new demands upon people just emerging into new life, then you'll just destroy the whole process of how renewal and discipleship actually develops. Somehow people need renewed, and as they're being renewed, then all these things that are part of a relationship with God, that those are already almost, if we've got used to these things, they forget how strange these things can be to those just coming into the new life God has for them. And out of zeal to want to see God honoured, or to want to see people truly establish the new life, we can actually force grow people, and the process is destructive. The renewal of people and the embracing of what a walk with God means actually needs to go together. I wonder if this is a warning to perhaps somebody, or to perhaps even the church in general. I believe God is going to do a new thing, and we're going to see many thousands of people awakened unto God throughout Scotland. I believe that day is coming. I've got faith for that day, a confidence that what I hope for will happen, an assurance about things not yet seen. I've got faith for such a day for Scotland. And when that happens, the temptation for those of us who have been on the road for a while will be to want to almost force the pace for these new converts just emerging into the light of God. And the whole imagery of not putting new wine into old wineskins just reminds us actually just to go slowly and patiently and persistently with people, helping people to emerge into all that a walk of discipleship and a walk of relationship with the living God actually means. It's a call to patience. It's a call to those who know God just to go gently, patiently, persistently with those just beginning the journey of knowing God, and not to force the pace. Perhaps you're trying to force the pace for a friend. Perhaps you're trying to force the pace for someone that is just emerging from a life in which God had absolutely no place. Just keep a check on how you express your zeal. And by the way, the real challenge of all this imagery at the end of Luke 5 about new wine and new wineskins is actually to those who are already drinking something of the wine of God. Are you settling for the old wine, really enjoying the old wine, the relationship with God and the expression of that you've known for a while? Or are you yourself open to the new wine of the kingdom, new things from God? Or are you saying, as you look at others, thinking they need to embrace this and that, is God maybe saying to you, there's actually new things in me that you need to embrace yourself? So why not take a look at Luke chapter 5, see it in a different way from just being about church structures. That's looking at it through our modern day concerns and skewing the real meaning of what it's all about. It's got rich pastoral concerns that we do well to heed in our dealings with one another, and as we ourselves seek to walk humbly before our God. So God bless you. Take time. Read these words at the end of Luke chapter 5, and may they bless you as you think about them and help you to be a blessing to others.